thing. I want to just answer this, talk through this question here we got in the chat. Karen wants to know what bets are you making at Phrase right now about the future of SEO and how is that shaping your marketing strategy as the director of marketing?
Right, that's a really good question because you got to show the receipts, right? You can always talk about things, but you got to show what you're doing. Good question.
Right.
So two specific things. Number one is we're using the product to drive acquisition. So one of the first things I worked on when I first started here, something I always wanted to do at previous places, but never had like the capital or like the pull to make them happen. And I'm like, all right, this is the type of stuff I believe is the future. So we have a template marketplace where you can go to Phrase and you could say, I want to create a content brief, but I don't want to start from scratch. So we're creating these like publicly indexable assets where you can go check out the content brief. If you like it and it's what you want to use, you can click a button and import it right into the product and actually use it to create a content brief and send it to a writer. So we're trying to tie search demand to product usage. And that is the type of user that we really want. That's like a home run for our business. That's one thing. And then the other thing too is like, we're really investing in optimizing for voice search and for friction-free kind of searches in the future. So a good example is like, we'll create these sort of knowledge bases of content on top of a topic. So if you wrote a post about content marketing, there might be 100 sort of like long tail questions that somebody would ask about that. So what we do is we either put them into FAQs or we like work them into the body of the content. And that allows us to optimize for what we think the future is, which might be that clicks go away. So how do we cater to that? But the reality is we have to optimize for today, what's working today. So we create really long form content just like everybody else does. And we try to hedge our bets with like, we want to create articles that are great, that are interesting for the topic, but we want to get distribution beyond that. So how do we think about like structured data, question answering, because that gets us featured snippets and stuff that might not like drive a lot of clicks, because if you look at Search Console, we might be like in the #1 spot, but we're not getting a lot of clicks. I'm fine with that because I'd rather have an impression on a very specific topic that Google says we're the best answer to and forego the clicks for now, because I'm making a bet in the future on relevance. So we sort of balance those two things, if that makes sense. Those are like the three things we think holistically a lot about.